Welcome to the Kitchen Remodel Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Robin Johnson, and I can't wait to chat with you about one of the most exciting topics ever. Kitchen design, right? I mean, who doesn't dream of remodeling their kitchen? Friends, if you're looking to up-level the most important room in your home, I am so glad you're here. As an award-winning designer of over 20 years, kitchens are my absolute favorite room in the house. Join me to discover the latest design trends, color palettes, and what you should know when it comes to choosing a layout, cabinetry, appliances, and so much more. With hundreds of decisions to be made and thousands of dollars on the line, you won't want to miss an episode. Let's get started. Hey friends, welcome back to the Kitchen Remodel Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Robin Johnson, and today we're going to talk about one of the most important and sometimes confusing parts of any kitchen remodel, which is picking out cabinetry. Cabinets are usually the biggest line item in your budget, but it's also one of the best ways to make your kitchen feel unique, functional, and stylish. So today I'm going to break down the different types of cabinets, what to expect in terms of quality, and how your choices will affect both your budget and your final design. So whether you're just starting to dream about a remodel or you're knee-deep in Pinterest boards, this episode will hopefully give you the clarity that you need to make smart decisions. So we've got 5 steps here, and step number 1 is really going to be understanding the 3 tiers of cabinetry. So let's start with the basics. Cabinets generally fall into 3 main categories: stock cabinets, semi-custom, and custom cabinetry. And here's the main differences. Stock cabinets, they're pre-made, they're ready to ship, and they're usually sold in standard sizes. The pros are they're budget friendly and they're often quick delivery, usually in a week or two you can have them at your site. The cons, well, they're limited in colors, finishes, sizes, and sometimes door styles, depending on the line that you're looking at. Then there's semi-custom cabinets, and these are the middle ground and where I really like to hang out for my higher end projects, especially for kitchens, pantries, and sculleries. The boxes and door styles are similar to stock cabinets in that they can be pre-made, but you can tweak things like the depth or the finish or the color you want, and you can also include unique storage solutions. The pros, well, they're more flexible than the stock selections, and the cons, well, they're more expensive and possibly have longer lead times depending on your choices. And this really, like I said, is where most homeowners land. It's kind of a nice balance between budget and personalization, and that kind of spells out semi-custom. And then there's custom cabinets, and these are going to be fully designed and built to fit your space, from the boxes to the door styles and all the materials used to, include things like unique hidden storage features, and anything you can dream of, you can have it. The pros are maximum flexibility, unique style, and high quality. And the cons, well, they're going to cost you the most money and they take the longest to deliver. You're looking probably at 12 to 16 weeks. All right, that's step 1. Now, step 2 is going to be understanding what quality you need to look for when you're shopping around. So here's some things to pay attention to. First of all, construction. Plywood boxes are the standard, and they're stronger and way more durable than particle board. Please steer clear of particle board cabinets. You can imagine what will happen to them if they get wet. If there's any sort of a leak, they literally will disintegrate. So steer clear of that. And you also want dovetail joints in the drawers, which will say this is a quality cabinet. If the drawer is stapled or glued on, don't do it. It's not going to be good quality and it's not going to last in the long run. All right, next is hardware. You want to find out what hardware is going to come standard with the cabinet line that you are considering. Soft close hinges and drawer slides make a huge difference in everyday function, And many companies now include them as a standard feature in the line, but some will not, and they're going to charge you. So you want to make sure that to find out if it's included or not. Another thing is you want to ask about full extension drawers that let you really utilize every inch of space. For example, if you want a cabinet that sits on your countertop in your kitchen and maybe you want a drawer too, well, that's going to be considered a wall cabinet, right? So it's only going to be like 12 inches, maybe 15 inches deep, depending on the flexibility of the line. And this is where it's so important because hardware can take up so much room inside of that drawer. If it's not a full extension cabinet, you're going to lose valuable storage, maybe up to even 4 inches in depth and maybe an inch or two on each side. So find out about the drawers. Another area where this is important, hardware, is coffee bars. And you need to think about the best way that the doors will open. And do you want maybe a pocket door that slides back in so that you have more room to maneuver? Hardware is definitely an important consideration. And then there's the finishes. So painted cabinets, of course, are some of my favorite, but they can chip if the quality is not there. A factory finish tends to be way more durable than, a quick paint job in your garage. They're sprayed on and it makes all the difference. So you want to go with the factory finish if possible. And then you have stained woods, which also offer a nice natural finish, but again, you want a quality job. I just saw a post on Facebook about someone, and she was asking about a white oak door sample that her contractor made, and it was really stripy. It was like dark light, and she was questioning, like, is this what white oak should look like? And the moral of the story is, if you have a semi-custom or custom cabinet color made, whether it's painted or even a stain, a natural wood, you always want to get a sample of it to approve anything before you ever place that cabinet order. So that's very important. You really want to think of your cabinets like furniture, and you can buy an inexpensive dresser that may work fine for a few years, or you can invest in a solid piece that's going to last you decades. It's really the same idea with cabinets. Okay, step three is all about the budget. So here's where the rubber meets the road. How much are you going to spend? Well, cabinets typically eat up about 30% of your total kitchen remodel budget. And to break this down a little bit more, I'm going to give you a price per square foot guide for comparison's sake. So stock cabinetry usually runs around $70 to $250 per linear foot. And these cabinets, in my opinion, are great for secondary rooms like bathrooms, guest houses, a rental, or a flip. Or if you're on a budget and you have to go with stock cabinets, no shame there. But you can save money here if you are trying to do a whole home and you want to really invest in a higher end quality in your kitchen or more customization in your kitchen. You can go for these stock cabinets, which are they're great for the secondary rooms to save where it counts. Then there's semi-custom cabinets, which are going to range between $150 to $500 per linear foot. These cabinets are perfect for homeowners who want a balance of style, quality, and affordability. Semi-custom cabinets are a great option for kitchens, pantries, and maybe a primary bathroom or a powder bath where you want to make a splash and do something unique. And then you have custom cabinets, and these are going to range starting at $500 per linear foot. These are going to be heirloom quality pieces where you're going to invest in craftsmanship and the ultimate personalization. And I'll just say that resale probably is not a factor here if you can afford to install custom cabinets, but do think about that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, I've seen some custom cabinets over the years and think to myself, why? Just why? So keep that in mind. One big tip is I would not splurge on cabinets if you don't plan to stay in your home long term. Say anything less than at least 5 years, I'd probably go with a stock cabinet. But if this is your forever home, upgrading your cabinetry is worth every penny. Step four, style considerations. Your cabinet style will set the tone for the entire room. And if we're talking the kitchen, well, it's going to set the tone for your whole house. It's important to choose a door style that sets the vibe that you want. Trends change over time, and many people like to go with more of a simple door style that will stand the test of time. Raised panel doors have clearly been replaced with flat panels, which are much more casual. And it will be interesting to see what door styles, emerge in 2026 with the traditional design kind of circling back into the market along with those darker wood stains, because in the past those were raised panels. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But when it comes to door styles, here's a few things you want to know. You've got your shaker door, which is the clean, casual, versatile door style. It can work in modern, it can go coastal, and it can even work in traditional spaces. Oftentimes, you'll see maybe like an additional beaded edge. It's not just the missionary style, 90 degree panel there. You'll have maybe a beaded edge or two to kind of give it a little oomph. Then there's the slab doors, which are sleek, modern, and minimal. And this is what you see in more contemporary style homes. Then there's the raised panel I mentioned earlier, which are more detailed, classic, and formal. Um, so there's that. And then there's the overlay doors versus inset doors. So an overlay door is used in stock and semi-custom cabinetry. And the question is, how much overlay does the door have? Like, how much of the frame does it hide? Because the more frame you see, the lower the quality, if that makes sense. It's less expensive to have smaller doors, and you see a lot of that frame, and you'll see this in builder quality cabinets or inexpensive cabinetry. A higher end cabinet, I mean, I'm like, hide as much of that frame as possible. I want as big a doors on there as we can fit, so that you're looking at that pretty millwork, and you're going to pay for that. Then there's inset doors, which really offer a custom fine furniture look. An inset door is flush with the frame of the cabinet, and it's the most expensive door style due to the precise dimensions and that it requires for a completely flat cabinet frame. Like those doors have to be cut out, to fit inside that little cutout perfectly. So they are the most expensive, but they are also the most chic and beautiful inset doors. Now, here's a bonus tip. You can mix and match door styles throughout your house and even within one room. For example, you might contrast a coffee bar, your island, or your pantry with a coordinating but different door style. It's all good. Okay, and then moving on to step 5, mixing and matching. As I mentioned earlier, it's very common to mix cabinet levels throughout the home. Stock here, semi-custom there. Sometimes you may choose to use stock cabinets on the perimeter of your kitchen, and then you order from a semi-custom line to make a unique island because you want a certain color that doesn't come in that stock line. So there's lots of ways to skin the cat, so to speak. And with the trend today of mixing and matching upper and lower cabinets, you could even do the same thing there. So really, mixing and matching not only adds style to your kitchen or your home, but also it really helps to balance the budget. So those are the 4 things. I'm going to go back over these real quick. Number 1 is understanding the tiers of cabinetry, the difference between stock, semi-custom, and custom cabinets. Step 2 is understanding the quality that you're looking for, what the construction is it plywood, what hardware comes standard, and what's the paint finish, what's the finish looking like on the cabinet. Step 3 is all about the budget, knowing how much you're going to be spending per linear foot and, what percentage of your overall remodel budget your cabinets are going to cost you. Number 4, style considerations and really choosing the door style to create the design aesthetic you're wanting in your home. And number 5 is mixing and matching the different levels, whether it's colors, door styles, or semi-custom, custom, that kind of thing, so that you can really play with the budget. So I hope that that is helpful, the cabinet breakdown. And, cabinets they're a huge investment, but when they're chosen thoughtfully, they will pay you back every single day in function and beauty. It's so worth it. If you love this episode, be sure to subscribe and share it with a friend who is maybe planning an upcoming remodel. And as always, you can find more design tips and resources over on my website and Instagram. Thanks for being a part of my community. I really appreciate you. And until next time, happy remodeling. Thanks for tuning in to the Kitchen Remodel Made Easy podcast. If you want to continue the conversation or share your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you. Head over to my Instagram page at Robin Johnson Interiors and send me a DM. If you're curious how to get started on your own remodeling journey, well, I have a free resource for you that you can download called the Kitchen Remodel Starter Kit in the show notes below, or you can head to my website and grab it there on the front page. Friends, if you enjoyed today's podcast and you can't wait to hear more, please leave a rating review to help others find me. And if you didn't, well, don't worry about it. Have a great weekend, and I'll be back soon for more kitchen design conversations.